Hi class, it's Dr. Janachek here. I wanted to do a video announcement this week because I know there have been some confusion over a few things, and I thought it would just be easier to clarify via video instead of a written out announcement. I apologize for the boxes in the background. We're in the middle of a move as well, so yeah, nice scenery in the background. This week, you guys have a few readings and lecture on mythos. So we're exploring another one of the rhetorical appeals and thinking about how that appeal is used to, reinforce ideas, usually wrong ones, usually misperceptions about disability and culture. So your reading from the textbook is on, specific myths that the author J. Dolmage has already sort of categorized. So he's kind of pinpointed these different sort of major types of myths, and some of them are already the ones that we've talked about after reading Nancy Mayers's piece and after thinking more about misconceptions about disability. But now you'll have, names for these myths and sort of understand how these myths actually, contribute to these larger cultural narratives about ability and disability and what it means to be human, what it means to be in the world, etc. So a very important reading this week. And one that you'll need to do the reading guide, which is due Wednesday, and then one that you'll need to do also to complete the discussion board post this week, which is a recorded video this week. So your initial post will be a recorded video, and then you'll have 2 responses to your peers' post, which are not video. So in that discussion post, I would like you to caption your video. So, go back to that announcement where I talk about ways to caption videos. Make sure that your video is captioned. And then also be aware that the discussion prompt asks you to cater that message to a specific audience. Okay, so this one is, let's see, it says, a peer unfamiliar with disability studies. Okay, so somebody who doesn't really understand maybe the idea about disability as a positive form of diversity or disability as identity, somebody who maybe just thinks about disability through sort of a medical model lens, which is like the larger cultural narrative, right? That idea that people don't want to be disabled, that it needs to be rehabilitated. So I guess, not necessarily somebody who's ableist per se, but somebody who's not really familiar with this larger idea, a way of thinking about disability from, an activist or, humanities perspective. Okay, so make sure you cater your message to that audience, inform them, and be aware of what preconceptions or lack of understanding they're going to come to the table with. And cater your message appropriately, because this is a rhetoric class, and part of what we're working on is learning how to craft messages for particular audiences and craft compelling messages, just as much as we're trying to figure out how other people are creating messages that society finds compelling as well. So those 2 things are due Wednesday this week, including the response posts, and then by Saturday, you should have met with your Rhetoric in Action project group via Zoom or in person. If you guys are all on campus, that's totally fine, and submitted to me a project game plan. So this is not your formal group proposal, but just sort of like a brainstorming where you're at, what you're thinking, your focus, etc. So in the learning materials for this week, you have the assignment sheet for your final Rhetoric in Action project. So make sure to read that in depth and let me know if you have any questions about that assignment. So this is the culminating assignment for the course, but you guys are working on it over the course of the semester. Okay, so that's why you're meeting now as a group and starting to figure out, what steps you need to take to implement this project because it is a larger one. And then I do want you to be aware, some of you guys have maybe not been able to disentangle that project from the speaking project one. So speaking project one is not a group project, it's an individual project, and it's just about your analysis of the representation of disability in a particular cultural artifact. So like a TV show or a film or an advertisement, a specific text that you can analyze and think about, what's that larger message about disability it's communicating? How does it play into, one of these disability myths that we have been discussing? What rhetorical appeals is it using to communicate that message about disability? What sort of, emotional framework is it trying to use? Is it invoking a particular model of disability? So this is an opportunity for you to do rhetorical analysis and really think about how is this message about disability. First of all, what is the message about disability it's communicating? You have to identify the rhetor, who's creating the message, the text. What is the message? The audience, who is this intended for, and how are they catering that message to a specific audience? So what appeals are they using? Some of those will be, a specific myth, that mythos. Some of it will be emotion. Maybe there's a logical appeal. Maybe it's trying to make you think some sort of if-then statement. Well, if this is the way it is, then this must be the way it is also. So really try to do some analysis there in your speech. So you'll be graded on the content of your speech, the quality of your analysis, but also, how engaging your video recording is as well. So that recording is due to me by Saturday. You'll need to email it to me, the video file, because then next week we'll be watching them, as a class. So for Saturday, what's due is the video file of your speaking project to me via email, and then the project game plan from your group. And I only need one per group as long as everybody's names are on that project planning sheet. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out, and I look forward to hearing more from you guys.